guys, welcome back to another Disney video. Today I thought I'd show you my pin collection. It's not massive, and I can't even really say that the majority of it is mine. This collection was passed on to me from my sister back in 2015. For some reason she started collecting them. She filled up a board and she then moved out and she said, you know what, I really don't have the room for them anymore. I don't know why I collected them. Would you like them? And at the time, I probably wasn't the biggest collector. This was the first collection I owned. And so I said to her, yeah, go on then, why not? They're quite small, they don't take up a lot of room, and they look really pretty. And you must have spent a lot of money on them. So I took over the collection, and now that I've started becoming more serious in terms of the items I collect and everything, it would be so great to develop this pin collection more. I've now bought a big pin board that stays on my wall, and I got rid of her little stand-up one. So now all the pins stay on that wall, so there is plenty of room to grow. It is just, at the moment, probably the less of the collection that I'm most wanting to complete, because I mean, pins, you could get so many and they go on and on and on and on, and they are actually quite expensive, I think, for what they are. I mean, they're mostly, what, 3 inches in height, maybe 2 inches wide at the most, and I do just feel they are very, very expensive. I get why, they are beautiful, and some of them are really, really rare now. Some of the ones I'm going to show you, I did look at eBay recently, and I don't believe they are available anymore. Just to naturally buy, you have to be relying on someone to sell them. I did at one stage consider selling my lot, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I didn't know how much to charge for them. I kind of got a feel for what other people were doing, but I just thought, no, do you know what? I'm going to keep them. I'll regret it the minute I sell them. And I don't want to trade out. They're just for me, so... And it's also something from my sister as well. So for that reason, I thought definitely going to keep them. Now, because I feel there's quite a few, I'm going to hold them up. And, you know, I'll say who the character is. But other than that, there isn't really that much to tell you about them all. I guess what you see is what you get, essentially. The other thing I really like about the pins is, like I said, I'm probably more fussed at the moment about my doll collection. So I collect the Disney designer dolls, the Animator doll series, Pop Vinyl. Those are the 3 main collections, I would say, at the moment that I've got going on. So what is really good about the pins is it doesn't have to be the main characters. I mean, you can literally get pins for the side characters, the sidekicks, the villains, everything and anything. And so I like it for that reason. So the very first pin I'm going to show you is Dumbo. Is it going to focus? There you go. Now what I will do is, if on the back, for example this one, it does have a date on it. I don't know if you see a pin you like and it has a date, I don't know if you'd be able to trace it in order to try and find one for yourself to buy. But anywho, if you are liking this one a lot, it was one that is fairly new. I've seen this one on eBay recently, but it is from 2008. And again, I'm holding it like that between middle finger and thumb. That's how big it is roughly. And I also like to group my pins on my pin board in terms of the film. I like all the characters to be together, but Dumbo, however, is the only character I have from Dumbo. Moving on, we have Alice doing her Yes, Your Majesty, and this is from 2002. Following the Wonderland theme, we have the Queen of Hearts. Now, unfortunately, this one does not have a year on the back of it. It's completely plain. Some of the pins as well, when I find one, I will show you. But some of them have a really nice design on the back as well, which I think is pretty lovely. Although, saying that, all the ones I'm currently turning over do not have it. Here we go, let's let's do this one next. So for example, what I mean is here is Geppetto and Pinocchio. I love that it's a combo pin. You get 2 characters for the price of 1 essentially, but I mean she probably paid a bigger value, if that makes sense, to secure both of them. So this one states it's 2009, but if I turn it round, can you see there is loads of different Mickey heads hidden on the back? And then in that wheel, I don't know if you can read that, but that is where it says the date and it says pin trading. Not all the pins have this pattern on, but I just like the ones that do. Following on with Pinocchio, we then have a little Cricket Jiminy, who is just truly adorable. I love this pin. He looks so snazzy in his costume. And I know for a fact that these ones, 2008 this pin is dated, and I know for a fact that it's going for around £80 on eBay last time I checked, which was probably about a couple of months ago. I was searching for pins and I was just curious. He popped up. I didn't specifically search for him, but he was in a search, and I just thought that was really interesting because she bought it 2-3 years ago now, I think, so I'm guessing she didn't pay that back then, but she can't remember the price of any of them, unfortunately, but never mind. So we then have Quasimodo on his own from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is a film that I haven't actually watched yet. It's one of those ones that my mum thought at the time was probably a bit too over my head when I was a kid. She didn't think I'd be very interested. I was more for sparkles and songs and girls in dresses. I was very kind of like, you know, princessy orientated. So for some reason she didn't think I'd be interested in this, didn't see the point in making me watch it. Now I'm older, obviously I would love to watch every single Disney film alive. Should be on my to-do list really, I just still haven't got around to doing it. But nevertheless, there he is. I know I need an Esmeralda to go with him, but at this moment I cannot tell you what their relationship is like. Moving on to a Pixar pin now. We have, from 2002, Buzz Lightyear. I love the detail in this one. He is so kind of on it in terms of using his laser. And again, finger comparison, he's quite big. And you can't have a Buzz without having a Woody, although this one does not have a year on the back of it. But again, it's very nice and cowboy-like. All of these pins as well did come with the black Mickey head kind of safety fastener at the back, but because I put them on my pin board, I don't actually need the pins, the pin backs. So they are literally kept within a jar upstairs. I can show you them if you want, but they're pretty ordinary and they do come with most pins, I believe. We have Sleeping Beauty in her Make It Blue dress, which I don't know what colour I prefer. I think naturally she should be in pink, just because that's her kind of iconic colour. But I do quite like the blue one, and I would like to get a pink one, similar to this maybe, just to match. This says 2009, and on the back, like Geppetto and Pinocchio, it has the hidden Mickeys going around it. Now, for the princess, we have the villain. We have Maleficent, that is way too close, who is probably my favourite villain of all time. And same year, 2009, again, we've got the Mickeys on the back, if it'll focus. There we go. We are getting there. We're probably about a quarter of the way through at the moment, and we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 6 films done at the moment. I don't know how many films I've got here. We have, from 2002, we have Mulan. Now, again, like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, I didn't watch this film when I was a kid. Again, Mum thought it was way too over my head. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I watched it a few years ago for the first time, and I was like, why have I never seen this before? The songs are amazing. The film is just so underrated, and there is not enough merchandise for them all. But nevertheless, I'm glad I watched it, and I now actually probably have more Mulan merchandise, maybe, than possibly Aurora. Quite possibly. So, no date on this one, but we have Beastie, looking very fierce and angry, probably about to throw Gaston off a building. Love it. Again, no date for his princess, but we've got Belle holding a red rose, which I love, and she is in her yellow dress. I don't know whether I'd get her in her blue and white one. I don't really see the point. Belle, to me, should always be in her yellow one. I know with the animated collection they did release her in her yellow and then her blue and white, but personally I'm happy with the yellow. I think if I got the blue and white first, I'd want the yellow, but the yellow is the iconic one for me, so that doesn't matter. Another highly underrated film is Pocahontas. I don't know, some people say Poker, some people say Poca, I say Pocahontas. Who knows if that's correct or not, but here she is looking very bold and strong and standing her ground. This was a pin from 2002, but again, all of these pins were bought in 2015, I believe, maybe even 14. I don't actually know. Now, Prince Ali as Street Rat Aladdin. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with his face in this one. I feel like the marking may have come off a little bit, like got scratched or something, because he is pulling a very scary face, and I'm not sure he's meant to look like that. And obviously he's carrying the apple, which steals from the market. And back, this is 2009, but again we have the Mickeys dotted over him. And of course we need the damsel, we need Jasmine, who's kind of jumping for joy. Her face looks a little bit more normal, at least. And this pin says 2002. Now, probably one of the biggest film ones so far, because also joining Aladdin and Jasmine, we have Jafar bending down, looking evil. And 2009, again, it's got the Mickeys on the back. Now, we have the genie. Now, I love the genie character, I really, really do. However, this, compared to this, he's tiny. I would really, really like a bigger one. So what I'm doing with certain pins that if I see better versions of, I would probably try and sell the one I own and then buy the better one. But I don't want to get rid of this one until I have another, if that makes sense. But he is just so small, and being probably my favourite character of that film, you know, alongside Aladdin, I would want him to be at least the same size. I feel like he's just so tight, like he'd get lost on the board, and he does a little bit. So I would like him to be bigger, if possible. Okay, so going, oh my goodness, that's tiny. I don't think I can even read that. I can't. So nevertheless, it says Mowgli. It says Mowgli. It doesn't say Mowgli. This is the pin I'm holding of Mowgli from the Jungle Book. However, on the back, it does say Mowgli actually. I cannot for the life of me read what year. I mean, I could try and focus. It is just so small. I cannot read it. I cannot read it. I think it says 2001 maybe, but I mean that may be a 9, that may be a 0. I don't know. If anybody has the exact same pin as this one, please tell me what year it's from, because I would love to know. And I clearly need my eyes tested more. Okay, we're getting there, The next film I'm going to show you is The Little Mermaid. So, we have Ariel, who I love, one of my favourite princesses, her and Rapunzel, in her mermaid form. This pin, see, look how big this is. This says 2008, clearly. Maybe it might not be clear enough for you, but I can read this one at least. Mowgli was just impossible. We also have Sea Witch Ursula, who is looking ready for revenge, just there. And this one says first release on the back, actually, 2010. I don't quite know what the first release means, but nevertheless it might be important. Keep it one day, we'll find out. Another thing, I never really planned to sell my collection as such. I know I said I was iffing and ahhing about it when I first got them, but now I've got them and they are my own technically, because I did pay my sister some money for them. It's kind of up to me what I do with them, and I don't feel like I'd ever sell it. So my mum and my dad just kind of think, why are you still collecting children's stuff? Like, what a waste of money. But to me, you know, it's going to make me happy till I'm grey and old. And then when the time comes to me no longer know my own name, it can be sold on. And it can either be passed down to my children, if I have any, then, you know, it might make them happy. Or they may end up hating Disney, in which case it can go somewhere else. To someone who will appreciate it. Bear with. We have Sebastian looking really, really grumpy. And there is no date on this one, and the back is completely different. It's just black, no silver, no gold. It's a bit boring. We're getting there. Over halfway now. Or maybe halfway. Not quite getting there, Cinderella, in her blue dress, all ready to go to the ball, holding a red, please ignore the beeping. There we go. Holding her red kind of purse with a smile on her face. Gold background, but no date. Admiring her from a distance in 2008. I love these ones. So we've got the Prince, we've got the Duke, and then we've got like the Duke's kind of man. Or is he the Duke and he's the King? I'm not sure. I will have to double check what their names are. I can't remember. But I believe he himself is Henry, I think. But I love that it's a free set. This is one of the ones that I'm talking about where I think they're really, really rare. I haven't seen this one on eBay before, ever. And this one is from 2008. Also possibly a really, really rare one, dating from 2008, is the Troublesome Three, so Lady Tremaine, Anastasia and Drizella. Again, their faces, I'm not sure if it's got a little bit chipped, but they do look a little bit scary, nevertheless, some of the pins. Love that it's a trio as well, and again, quite a decent sized pin. Lastly, from Cinderella, we of course have Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Fairy Godmother, she's looking lovely in her little outfit. This dates, nope, it does not have a date on it. However, it does say Disney's Electrical Parade. Now, Electrical Parade, I'm not sure when that's from, because I know for a fact that my sister wouldn't have bought it in a park herself, so it must have been sold from somebody who did pick it up during a park visit and didn't want it anymore, which is really sad. Last Pixar film we've only had two. We have Nemo from, of course, Finding Nemo. He's tiny, he's cute. I really, really want a Dory to go with him. He doesn't have a date, which is, you know, not a massive issue. We have, bear with me 1 second. Okay, it's fine. all good. Today happens to be my day off work, and I'm a little bit paranoid that they're going to ask me to come in and cover for someone who has pulled a sickie this morning. So every time my phone goes off, I'm getting a little bit jumpy because it's getting nearer and nearer to this evening. And I work in a restaurant, so yeah, we'll see. Never mind. Off subject. From 2009, we have Hercules. Again, love this film. Watched it recently. I watched it as a kid, but I watched it recently, and it is also underrated. I love the songs, love Meg. I think the storyline is great. I just don't think it gets enough kind of publicity is not the right word, but I don't think it gets enough kind of advertisement as being a good film. Okay, let's 2002. I can just about read this one. Tarzan, again, sorry to sound like a broken record, soundtrack, phenomenal. It beats probably most of the ones I've just said are underrated. So Mulan, Pocahontas, Hercules, Tarzan soundtrack is amazing. I love it. And he himself as a pin is really, really good quality, decent size. And on the back, no hidden Mickeys, but it does have his name and the date. 2008, we have Cruella de Vil looking evil in her fur coat. Glorious red, white, black. You know, she really stands out. You can tell who it is. And you can't have a puppy catcher or killer without a puppy. So we've only got Pongo. I would love to get Perdita. I would also love to get Oddball. And if I could possibly get like Patch or Roly. Is he called Roly? The fat one. Not sure what his name was. But I'd love to get a couple of puppies, especially Oddball thrown in. Or like Dipstick or something. Then yeah, that would be amazing. This one doesn't have a date. But it does say Disneyland Resort, so again, I feel like she probably bought this off of eBay from somebody who bought this in a park. So it wasn't a specific event, just a resort pin. Let's do a couple of single ones. Okay, no date, no hidden Mickeys, but we have Bambi finding a butterfly. Again, watched this film really, really recently. When I was younger, it had me in tears. Had to hold back the tears a little bit when I watched it recently. But I love it. I love the word Twitterpated now. That I just keep saying it all the time. And everyone's like, what the hell does that mean? I'm like, watch Bambi. Okay. Single duo here. We have Duchess and Thomas O'Malley. Love the Aristocats. Love the fact that they've kind of got the French kind of side of it, so they're very much advertised in Disneyland Paris, which is probably the most park I go to. We do have hidden Mickeys on the back, and it does say 2009. Love the duo set, never going to get rid of this one. I don't believe in saying that. I don't think I've said it for quite a few of them. I don't know how rare any of these ones are. I'm pretty sure Pongo you can get in quite a lot of different formats, as you probably could with Cruella maybe. However, these two as a set in this pose, I don't think is very popular anymore. Probably quite a rare find. I know you can get her with her kittens, I believe, but I really want the kittens on their own as a free or each individually. Not sure which, don't really mind, whatever one's cheapest. Now, two that I would like to trade out and upgrade to are, and I'm going to show them both together if I can, Lady and the Tramp. Now, they're nice, they're cute, quite small, and I don't like the fact they're just their heads. Now, I'm a massive dog lover, and the fact that I have Pongo's full body, I have a cat's full body, like, I want full bodies of these ones. I've looked for Lady. I believe you can get her sitting down with like puppies in a basket, her puppies in a basket, so I'd quite like that one. Tramp, again, you can get him almost in the exact same pose as Pongo, sitting up, looking rather happy. Would love to get them someday. At the moment, not on my top priority list. So these will have to do for now. They don't have any, dates or anything like that, like Sebastian. They are just black. But never mind. I would also like to get Jacques and, is it Jacques or Jock? I'm not sure. I say Jacques because it's not English, I don't think, completely. So I'd like to get Jock and Trusty and Scamp. Maybe Angel if I could find her, and the twins, Siam. Quite like to get them. But, you know, there's a lot of things I want. Now, from the first ever Disney, we have Snow White looking glorious in her dress. This one, I believe, is quite a new pin, even though it doesn't say. However, on the back, it does in fact say Disneyland Resort Paris, which I didn't even know, which is lovely, very lovely. And to go with her, we have the Evil Queen, again, no date, and her face is very kind of messed up a little bit. But ganging up on her slightly, we have the old hag as well as the Evil Queen, and she is actually holding the poison apple that, you know, puts her in the sleep. This one is 2009 and has the hidden Mickeys on the back. We are getting there. We've got 4 more left to go through, and when I say 4, it's not that much. So, next film. You can fly, you can fly, you can fly. Just as I said that, a bird flew right past my window. We have The Flying Peter Pan. Love this film. Now, unfortunately, like Mowgli, and I think it's because they've got such skinny bodies, I can't read the year. I just can't read it. So again, please comment below if you know what year this pin was released. I would love to know. I don't mind this pose of Peter. I mean, he does love to fly. I may look out for a different one, but I haven't really thought about it that much, to be honest with him, because, you know, I'm content with this one. However, Tinkerbell, 2008. I'm not sure I want her flying. I don't think I want her in this pose. So I'm definitely going to look out for a different version of her, because I don't like how they're both, I don't know, both of them flying's quite cute together, like one over each other, but not sure about it. I want a different pose, I think. So then we've also got 2010 actually. We have Hook and Smee together as a duo. Quite like it. We've got hidden Mickeys on the back as well. For Peter Pan, I would love to get the siblings. I've seen a pin where they're hiding behind the black umbrella, which I really, really love. If I could get TikTok, that'd be fantastic as well. And Nana, I quite like Nana, like carrying her tray over her head if I could. I don't even know if that one exists, but if it doesn't, Disney, please make it up, because I would buy it. And I'm sure other people would too. So, next film. We are down to 4 films now, and this one only has 1 pin, so technically 3. The next film is The Lion King, and I believe this one is quite rare too. So, I think it is Simba and Nala, rather than Mufasa and whatever his wife is called. But I've never seen this pin before, like listed on eBay or anything. Doesn't have a date. It's quite stained at the back actually. So I want to say it's quite old, maybe for that reason, but I'm not sure. I would love to know what year this one is again, so please comment if you know. I'm kind of guessing though it's all within the 2005 to 8, 9 mark. That's kind of when pins really became a thing, I think. Okay, I'm still trying to get to grips with this camera, and I believe time just ran out a little bit, so bear with me as I try and piece all of that. So, what I was trying to say is that Tigger and Pooh are much of a muchness really. They're about the same size. They've both got the black backing on the back. There's little bees. And there's no date on either of them. Also, as part of them, although have lost him, found him. So I was going to show you as well Rabbit, who's the other one from Winnie the Pooh that I've got. I weirdly don't have Piglet, who is more famous than Rabbit, I would say. Would also very much like to get Kanga and Roo, possibly Owl, maybe. I mean, you kind of need the whole gang. Again, black backing, no date. Now, the final set of pins I'm going to show you is, of course, the classics. So, I'm going to start with these two. We have Mickey and Minnie, both not the same size. I'm trying to hold them at the same level, but Minnie is considerably bigger than Mickey. Neither have a date on the back, and neither have hidden Mickeys, which is a bit of a shame. So I would quite like to get them so they're the same height, maybe even as a duo, like the kittens, wherever they've gone. I just want them to match. I'm a bit OCD like that. Nevertheless, I've got them for now. They will keep me happy until I get replacements. Also, part of the gang, we have Goofy, and I really do quite like this pin. It very much says his character, and, you know, he's bouncing. No date and no hidden Mickeys. We then have the world's #1 duck from 2009. Now, he is glorious. And he's actually, I've just noticed, I believe, wearing a hat. Because his don't normally look like that, so I think he's wearing a hat with a castle drawn on it, I think. So, I mean, it doesn't say anything on the back, it simply just says 2009 and hidden Mickeys. So I might have to Google that one, because, I mean, it's very cute, but that could explain why the size difference is so ridiculously different. I mean, bear with. Hello? Hello? Okay, so quite a lot of interruptions throughout this video, which is always an issue whenever I try and film a video, so I'm sorry, please bear with me. What I was going to say is from 2008, we have one of my favourite classic dogs, which is Pluto. For a really long time, I never understood why Goofy could A, wear clothes and B, walk on two legs, yet he was a dog. And my buddy here didn't wear any clothes and had to walk on fours. Yeah, they were both still called dogs. I didn't quite understand that, but nevertheless, this little yellow guy is my fave. He's adorable. I love meeting Pluto anytime I go into a park as well. Rather randomly, we have Dale. Now, if I had Chip, I would hold him up, but we don't. My sister only bought Dale, and I have no idea why. I don't know if she forgot there was two, or whether she preferred Dale. I don't know, I'll have to ask her. But this one says there's no date on the back of it, but it does say a Disney store. I really can't speak today. A Disney store exclusive. There's no hidden Mickeys, but if I hold it up, normally the date is within this Mickey head here. This is where it says Disney Store Exclusive, and that just says China. But I mean, he is lovely. I would love a matching Dale. The thing is, again, I don't think I could have two different sizes. I think they'd have to be the same. Ideally, again, Mickey and Minnie, if I could get a 2-on-1 pin, that would just save me a lot of time trying to find a second one. But we'll see. So anyway, that is my pin collection at the moment as it stands. Honestly, I don't know when I'll be adding to it. Going back to Paris soon. Soon, not quite yet, but soon, in a couple of months' time. And I may pick up a few, maybe, but like I said, pins at the moment aren't very high on my to-do list or to get list. But nevertheless, I do still like them. There is certainly a couple I would like to get different ones for, or replacements, and there's a lot of characters that I know for a fact I want and I haven't even bought them up yet. So stay tuned for another pin video maybe. I'm not going to do it as I get it, I'll just wait for a bigger bundle and then I'll update you. But thanks guys for watching. Check out all the other videos I've got on here that are labelled Disney Collection Series, and chances are they will be what they say the title is, so either a collection, either a haul, or you never know, they may even be a part video if I have the energy to film one. So thank you very much for watching.